Till now we have seen the file allocation can be either contiguous or non-contiguous, and the contiguous file allocation, even though it's simple to implement and provide easy file access, both sequential and direct access, it suffers from many problems such as external fragmentation, and since we need contiguous set of blocks, the size of the file should be declared while the file is being created, and sometimes the file cannot continue to grow on in the future. So to overcome these limitations, we go for non-contiguous linked allocation. Here, all these problems are resolved. There is no chance for external fragmentation and no need of compaction. The size of the file need not be declared while the file is being created, and the file can continue to grow on as long as enough disk blocks are available at some locations. But here the problem is the file access. The sequential file access is fine, but the direct file access is difficult. This method is not suitable for direct file access. Hence we go for the next method of non-contiguous allocation using file allocation table. Here, all these advantages of linked allocation exist in this method. In addition, this method is suitable for both the sequential access as well as direct file access. But here we have a new problem, the size of the file allocation table. For every disk block, we are having an entry in the file allocation table. Hence, this table contains the details of not only the open file, also the files not in use, and it has the entries for the unused disk blocks too. We can get advantage from the file allocation table only if it's kept in the main memory while the disk is in use. If the size of the disk and the number of disk blocks is very large, the file allocation table is too big, and it's not fair to keep such a big table in main memory. Thus, instead of using FAT, we go for another non-contiguous allocation method called index allocation. Here the file is allocated with non-contiguous set of disk blocks, and for every file there will be a separate block called index block, and the directory entry for that file points to the index block. The index block will then contain the location details of all the file blocks or the pointers to all the file blocks in order. The 0th entry contains the value 3, which shows that the first file block or the 0th file block is at the location 3. Then the next file block, the second file block, is in the location 5. And the third file block has the disk block address 11. And the last file block has the disk block address 12. So what are the advantages of this method? Here again, there is no chance for external fragmentation since non-contiguous set of blocks are allocated and no need of compaction too, and the size declaration problem doesn't exist. The file can continue to grow on in the future as long as 3 disk blocks are available. Then the direct access problem doesn't exist. In order to access any file block directly, we should access the directory first, get the index block. Here we can get the address of any disk block, and we can access the file directly using this index block. And unlike the file allocation table, the issue with size doesn't exist. But here the limitation of this method is the wastage of space. Suppose the file is too small, then most of the index block space will be empty. So we cannot allow the index block to be too big. And if it is not too big, then if the file is very large, it will not be able to hold enough pointers for the file. So we have to go for an optimum size of the index block, and if it cannot hold all the pointers, we should go for multiple index blocks. In the next video, we shall see how to resolve this issue using different schemes.